Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the words Spot Media. Jamaican-born Olympic athlete Germaine Mason died in an early morning motorcycle crash along the Norman Manley Highway in Kingston. We have more in this report from Simone Golding.
Reports indicate that Mr. Mason attended the I Love Soca Fete on the waterfront when he left with a group to ride out to the Palisados in the wee hours of the morning. Mason was riding along the Norman Manley Highway towards Harbour View when he lost control of the motorbike, crashed, and died on the spot. It's believed the crash occurred around 4 o'clock. Moments later, several athletes, some of whom had been at the party earlier, arrived on the scene, including world and Olympic champion Usain Bolt and Olympic gold medalist Michael Frater. Head of the Highway and Traffic Division Senior Superintendent Calvin Allen spoke with our news center.
The deceased, Germaine Mason, one of our international Olympians, he was driving a motorcycle along the Norman Manley Boulevard. We speak about the airport main road, when in the vicinity of the gypsum plant, understand that he might have lost control for some unknown reason and fell from the motorcycle, received serious and eventually fatal injuries. We are still processing the scene. The whole investigation process is well and truly on for us to get to the gravamen of exactly what would have caused that situation to occur.
Mason is Jamaica's national record holder in the high jump event. He trained with the Stephen Francis coached MVP track club, but in 2006 switched allegiance to represent Great Britain. 2 years later, Mason competed at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing and won a silver medal for Great Britain in the high jump. Simone Golding reporting for TVJ News.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie has revealed that the debt owed to the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS for streetlights has increased significantly over the past financial year. Last year, it was reported that the government owed more than $4 billion to the JPS at the end of July. More than $700 million of this figure was from the KCC. Mr. McKenzie told the House of Representatives yesterday that more than $1 billion was paid over last financial year, but the bill is still growing.
Mr. Speaker, the bill for that period was $2.8 billion. The reality that between GCT and the payments and the balance brought forward from the last financial year, the debt to the Jamaica Public Service Company has risen to some $5.4 billion. As I promised the House last year, we have been having a series of discussions with the JPS to look at how best to deal with the problem.
Mr. McKenzie also shared the details of the system which is aimed at reducing this bill.
The commitment for the scheduled implementation of the smart streetlight system. The schedule is specified in the electricity license of 2016. This system, when it comes into place, Mr. Speaker, will decrease the price of streetlights to the country, and we are hoping to have an improved quality of public lighting across the country.
And Mr. McKenzie has also indicated that the ministry will soon proceed with another audit of streetlights in the corporate area. The aim is to more accurately determine the number of defective streetlights and the cost to the ministry.
We are also going to be assisting, Mr. Speaker, the local authorities to undertake a comprehensive night audit to see exactly how much. It was never done before. You did a day audit. We are going to establish what is working, Mr. Speaker, and in the process, we're going to be providing employment for people to do that, Mr. Speaker.
This afternoon, a charge and a promise from one member of Parliament for the government to do more to help state-run facilities for children. The call was made at Tuesday's opening of the newest state-run children's home, the Summerfield Child Care Facility in Clarendon. More from TVJ's Krista Campbell.
Close to 10 state-run children's homes in Jamaica, the Summerfield Child Care Facility in Clarendon is the newest. But a member of the government feels the state is not sufficiently involved in the daily operations of these facilities. North Central Clarendon MP Pernell Charles charged his colleagues to commit to making regular visits to and helping the children in state care. He also challenged members of the public.
We can't sit here and have other Jamaicans with 31 girls here and let them stay here on weekend. We need to come here and take 2 or 3 of them into our homes for the weekend. Let them enjoy themselves in a family home.
And with increasing reports of child abuse, Junior Youth Minister Floyd Green urged residents to break their silence on men he says continue to prey on youngsters.
Too many communities, it is commonplace for man to live with little picnic and nobody says anything until something terrible happens. We need to stamp that out.
Meanwhile, he explained that the government is working to improve opportunities for children in state care. He encouraged the 31 girls at the Summerfield Child Care Facility in Clarendon to take advantage of jobs made available through the National Youth Service Summer Program.
We've reserved space for the wards of the state, our children. And remember, and I am not ashamed, you will have first pick. So if space is limited, your space guaranteed.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
And the Summerfield Child Care Facility in Clarendon was transformed last August from a boys' home to a place of safety for girls. The home was originally built in the 1970s and cost over $50 million to renovate.
Construction of a multi-purpose building, which you will see shortly. 2 bathrooms, 2 offices. Construction of an additional bathroom block to the dorm. Retiling of the floors replaced to the ceiling and the roof. Construction to the portico to the front of the dorm area. Replacement of windows and addition of grills and the construction of a ramp. We also did fencing to the perimeter of the facility. The main building saw the replacement of the first floor, and this replaced the previous wooden floor, which was constructed of reinforced concrete.
1 girls are currently at the facility, which can accommodate up to 32. The girls have their own student council body, a reading club, a small farm where they're raising chickens and growing cash crops like peas and beans. And there's also an incentive program to encourage good behavior. Now administrators say they've seen personal growth and initiatives from the girls.
Diagnosed with respiratory issues. And as such, the student body decided that it would be well and good to have a health and wellness club. And this to help with these issues. And this was launched on April 14th with a run to the square of Chapelton.
4 persons are now in police custody for predial larceny following a police operation in Clarendon yesterday morning. Now reports indicate that the police were on an operation in search of stolen animals in the Gravel Hill community, where they discovered several animals. Checks were made and the animals were found to have been stolen.
We actually found a herd of goat, quite a number of them. We actually recovered 12 from a farm that was actually in the same district, and 4 persons were arrested earlier on this morning. That operation started from yesterday late evening into this morning.
Superintendent David White says one of the men in custody is believed to have purchased a stolen goat. He issued this warning.
You must make sure that you do your due diligence. Person who is offering you animals for sale is that you make sure that those persons are licensed individual, and that is they have to be rather compliant. And unless those persons can prove it, then we are saying to you, do not purchase those animals.
And speaking of police operations, the Area 3 Police yesterday started a series of operations aimed at putting a lid on crime in Clarendon, Manchester and St. Elizabeth. We have the details in this report. The Area 3 Police on operation in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth Wednesday. The cops say they have been stepping up operations in the area to put a lid on crime. Wednesday's operation focused on town centers, highways and other hotspots.
It is a given that criminals traverse the highways carrying guns and drugs, and wanted persons as well traverse these places.
The police have also been ridding town centers of illegal vending, as well as prosecuting and arresting people for various offenses.
As minor as persons who are committing, being armed with offensive weapons as ice picks and knives, and not to mention the guns and the drugs. We want the people of Area 3 and Jamaica as a whole to feel safe and secured.
The cops say Wednesday's operation was a success, noting that senior officers have also been on the ground carrying out operations and giving support to other police.
We have found a number of persons selling drugs. We have arrested some persons for DVDs, bootlegs, DVDs. We have also seized a number of motor vehicles and issued quite a number of tickets.
The police say they intend to continue the operations in all towns across the 3 parishes in Area 3. Residents and farmers in Newton, St. Elizabeth are calling for their political representatives to carry out drain cleaning activities after heavy rains flooded their community yesterday. Now the downpour, which lasted for more than 2 hours, resulted in 8 houses being damaged by floodwaters. Farmers say acres of peanut were washed away as drains overflowed. At least one resident told the TVJ News that the drains in the area have not been cleaned for years, and this is despite reports being made to their political representatives. We go now to sports. Jamaica's team to this weekend's 3rd staging of the IAAF World Relay in the Bahamas has been dealt a setback with a few withdrawals. Technical leader of Jamaica's World Relay team, Maurice Wilson, confirmed a short while ago that 2-time World 100-meter bronze medalist Asafa Powell is among 3 athletes to pull out of the team.
Never mind, not to be.
Well, I've been informed that Asafa Powell is not available. Julian Fort is also not available. Rasheen McDonald is also out. And so far, basically, that's it. No, but as you would know, those are experienced athletes that I think would have made a big difference to the composition of the team.
Coach Wilson also revealed that double Olympic sprint champion Elaine Thompson and world and Olympic 400-meter bronze medalist Sharika Jackson could turn out for one relay event each.
Well, I was advised, I have not had any final discussion with the coach, but I was advised that Elaine would be only available for the 4x2 and Sharika for the 4x200.
The withdrawals and limitations aside, Coach Wilson is backing the Jamaica team to do well in the Bahamas.
Well, I don't want to think so. We must take into consideration that this is a team that has a mix of experience and youth. So we are expecting that persons who are given the opportunity perform to the best of their ability.
Now the team left the island for the Bahamas this morning. And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. Join us at 7 for Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon.